So this system is using Bluetooth beacons and the Metro Trip app together to help visually impaired people navigate. So the problem we originally had was how do you get information to somebody that's visually impaired that's never been to a stop before?
The Harris County Regional Transit Authority, lovingly known as Metro, is installing a system of beacons on every single bus stop. And these beacons, when connected to an app on a smartphone, allow blind and low vision riders to have a greater sense of confidence that they are headed in the right direction and getting on at the right bus stop.
Using the Bluetooth technology to guide people to points to which they want to go is a great navigation technology. And for people with visual impairments, using a transit system, it's a godsend. I mean, if you imagine if you can't see where the bus stop is and you're trying to get on that bus and maybe nobody's around who can guide you, or you don't know they're around to ask them, it's a bad, bad feeling.
So we originally thought about, well, what if you put Braille on the sign? Well, that doesn't help you get there, because if you're close enough to read the Braille, then you've already made it to the stop. Then we thought about, well, what if we use like Wi-Fi or something like that? Wi-Fi, cellular, that would work with an app on somebody's phone, but those are expensive. Most of our stops are just a pole and a bus stop. There's no electricity, there's no cellular. We have to put that in, and we have 9,000 stops. So we wanted something that was cheap, that would work with the customer's cell phone, and that could guide them directly to there without using GPS. And so that's when we came up with these Bluetooth beacons.
So what will happen is anyone who's using the Metro app to plan their trip can plug in their origin point and their destination. And then the phone will sync up with the beacons throughout the city. And as you get closer to your correct stop, it begins to buzz with tactile notifications and audible notifications. And that part's important for two reasons. One, if you're using transit downtown, there's a lot of noise pollution. You've got trains, you've got horns, you've got the voices of pedestrians, so the tactile part is important. But there are also deaf and blind people who are using public transit. And so it's great to have a kind of inclusive notification for them as well.
If you have the app and you have the Bluetooth beacons at the different bays and the different stops, the light rail, the taxis, and so on, you know where to go, and you can go directly there. You don't have to ask other people. You don't have to get confounded by the directions. You can go directly there following the app and using the Bluetooth technology. So in the context of mass transit, it certainly has great value, and Houston is the only city in the country that's really gone full scale after that. Once we have our system in place, which will be a short time, relatively speaking, I mean, the rollout of this has been incredibly fast. It'll be the largest system in the world.
So when we launch the app, it's going to be the basic navigation. Hopefully shortly after we launch the app, one of the features that we want to do is, since we'll have a beacon at each stop, the phone in your app knows which one of the stops that you go to all the time. So in the near future, you'll be able to walk up to the stop, your phone could be in your pocket, your phone could be in your purse, and your phone would see the beacon and will like, oh, hey, you're here at the stop, and would automatically send a push notification to your phone saying, hey, here are the next buses that are arriving.
Right now, you don't think about bus stops as places where people can access tech or the internet. And so I think this begins a kind of standard for smart cities work in Houston, right? This is the beginning of making our public transit more integrated with the tech infrastructure that every one of us uses every day, right? And then for the nation, we're the first city in the country, we're the first city in the world to do something like this.
Here we have this system of guidance, navigation, that's brilliant, uses modern technology. It doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't take up space. It's very, very efficient. And the first application was really thought to be beneficial to blind people. And we talk about it like that, but in reality, it's an application that all of us are going to use.
This project really is for everyone. First and foremost, it's to help our community, especially for if you have visual impairments to navigate, but this will be of use to everyone. So we're basically, our uses for Metro and their staff to be able to run our operation more efficiently. There are uses for people whether they can see or not, and that's the big thing, is we want to support our entire community and make it easier for everyone to use our system.
I think when a lot of people think about disability, they think about what a person can't do. They think about how a person might be more vulnerable. They think about, oh, well, there's no way that that person who's blind could navigate a busy intersection by themselves. They must have a sighted person helping them. And that's simply not true. And this system allows more individuals to access that independence and to access that dignity that is already inside them, but now the public can see it.